What's up, Meta Nerds? This video is all about the Coruscant Underworld Police. These are not the shiny police droids that would be seen on the higher levels of Coruscant. These are the guys that had to fight crime in the seedy underworld of the biggest metropolis in the galaxy. Those criminals unfortunate enough to run into the Underworld Police were met with beings that were clad in heavy blaster-resistant leathers and metal plating that protected the chest, shoulders, and head. Their eyes were protected from a variety of attacks, but it also gave them information on their surroundings, and perhaps most important, was the fact that the headgear and mechanically augmented eyes made them anonymous. This allowed them to carry out their duties without fear of being personally identified, a trait that is extremely important when tracking down organized crime factions, but it also made the police feel less like individuals, and thus more able to carry out violent actions if necessary. This uniform image of the Coruscant Underworld Police also worked as a way to make the public fear and respect them, as a civilian didn't know if the cop that they were looking at today was the same cop they saw that busted a Twi'lek spice dealer's jaw the week before. Because as their work was far away from the eyes of senators, tourists, or just the rich people in general, the local government on Coruscant let the Underworld Police carry out their duties as they saw fit, dealing with criminals in whatever way they thought necessary to keep the crime from reaching the respectable citizens of the upper levels. What's more is that some people were not even sure if all of the police were humanoids, droids, or something else entirely, giving the force a near mystical status in the eyes of many. They were most often equipped with a heavy blaster pistol, with some using the DL-44, and for patrols and raids, they could also use the Republic Police Gunship and the Coruscant Police Speeder. We saw that when Ahsoka Tano went rogue, the Underworld Police set up checkpoints, checking IDs on the trains and in the streets. They were able to spot Ahsoka, though were not able to contain the young Jedi. Older Coruscant police droids that needed to be phased out were worked into the ranks of the underground, and they would also work alongside the Coruscant Guard on special missions. The forces that stormed criminal dens in the underworld came to be known as Stormtroopers, a name that Palpatine later applied to his soldiers, who were often tasked with policing civilian populations with the end of the Clone Wars. When the Rebel Alliance started to grow in strength, the Galactic Empire decided to punish worlds that joined this cause by deporting any member of the rebel-siding races. One of the most notable of these was when the Mon Calamari joined the rebellion, and the Underworld Police, along with the Stormtroopers, helped to clear Coruscant of these fishy civilians. The ensuing riots were met with deadly force. The next large-scale riot we know of was after the destruction of Alderaan. Most of the immigrant Alderaan population on Coruscant lived on level 3204, and when rumors started trickling in, many partook in a sort of shocked and confused vigil. It was still hard to believe, but when the HoloNet confirmed the destruction of their entire homeworld, the capital of the Empire was set ablaze, with riots that lasted for days. As you might have expected, the Underworld Police and Stormtroopers began to open fire on the civilians, killing many of the vigil goers in the street. This helped to break up the riots, and the Empire pushed their advantage and began going door to door, accusing entire households of being rebel spies, and tried to round up anyone native to Alderaan. But that's it for the Coruscant Underworld Police, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind the scenes stuff. They made their first appearance in the episode To Catch a Jedi, and they were actually created by George Lucas himself. They would later appear in different comics, and can be seen in concept art for the cancelled game Star Wars 1313. And most recently, they were in the short story 1000 Levels Down. But that's it for the Coruscant Underworld Police. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to check out our social media, or ways that you can help support this channel, be sure to check out the description down below. If you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications. But more important than all that, remember, if you see the Underworld Police, put down the sign and live to protest another day. And the Force will be with you, always.